An outstanding law enforcement officer and person, someone who loved to be outside. That's how people who knew St. Croix County Deputy Katie Leising are keeping her memory alive tonight. Katie was shot this weekend doing her job. Now the fourth law enforcement officer killed in the line of duty in our region in just 1 month. Each one of those deaths are unique, and line of duty deaths in general remain rare in our area, but the danger and weapons officers have encountered in recent years have been on the rise. And that is far from the only challenge departments are struggling with right now. So today, Kent wanted to have a conversation. Kent, you visited a local police chief and talked about all of that and the grief that's battering our law enforcement community right now.
Yeah, I did, Jana. And keep in mind, on top of those 4 line of duty deaths, there have been other deaths. Officers from many Twin Cities departments today attending another funeral for Inver Grove Heights officer Ben Biden, who recently died from a medical emergency. I bring this up to say it's just the latest example of the many types of losses local departments are navigating. When the Wyoming Police Department first placed mourning bands on its badges in honor of 2 rural Wisconsin officers killed in the line of duty last month, Chief Neil Bauer never imagined needing them 2 more times in just 4 weeks.
I think it weighs on everybody's mind a lot.
How do you just mentally regroup with your staff when you're reeling still?
It always has to be on all of our minds to think, is it still worth it? You know, is this risk worth it? Both my wife and I are in law enforcement, and when I think of the questions that my daughters asked this weekend. My middle daughter last night was saying, I hope mom's in the office all night tonight. You know, she feels like that's safe, and she was asking, is she usually in the office, or is she out, out and about? And how do you manage those questions, or how do you answer those questions for an 8-year-old? They shouldn't have to ask those questions. That's not fair to them.
Chief Bauer says he believes it's also not fair to assume that the questions raised in the wake of these killings come with easy answers.
It's really complex. Mental health is a priority, and how do we address that? How do we address domestic violence situations, which are always going to be more dangerous? It is partially about the availability of firearms. It's about all these things, combined. It's not one issue specifically.
While line of duty deaths in Minnesota remain rare, assaults against police have increased 140% from 2019 to 2021, the most recent year tracked by the BCA. Firearms are also now 4 times more likely to be used in those assaults. But while gun control remains a hot topic of debate, Bauer says the calls don't stop.
Regardless of kind of what's going on around us, we're still here showing up to work, and we're going to be there when you call 911. What happens beyond that isn't necessarily within our control.
He says the same goes for where these line of duty deaths have happened, all 4 taking place in rural departments with otherwise low violent crime.
But it can be anywhere. That's what kind of hits home for us here. It's like we have a super safe community, really good supportive community, but our night shift officers, they're working by themselves. That's what concerns me too.
And at a time when officer staffing remains a huge concern across our entire region, filling even one open position here takes months.
Our open position right now, we've posted it 3 times since the beginning of the year. We attended a career fair up in Alexandria, and as we were there, we found out that 75 to 80% of the students that were even in the school already have job offers.
And after a month like this, he's just hoping the next generation doesn't look away.
I still love showing up to work every day. I think it's a valuable, worthy cause that we're doing. Driving down 94 yesterday and seeing squad cars lining the freeway with my kids in the car. I'm seeing the fire departments and ambulance services on all the overpasses. I think that, in some way carries us forward. You see the support that's out there, and you see that you are part of something bigger.
Chief Bauer says he is also encouraged by the way in which many departments have come together to talk about these incidents and offer mental health support. He says Wyoming is among a large number of departments here that have yearly mental health check-ins and cover several free sessions for employees to use for any reason through the year. Jana.
I really appreciate him taking the time to talk to us. I know you and I were trying to talk to several people in law enforcement about just getting someone to talk to us about this time. So really valuable stuff that he shared. So really appreciate it. Anything else that stands out to you, Kent?
You know, it doesn't, except for the emotion that he shared there at the beginning, because as you said, this is a hard time. It's a hard time for those that are leading departments, who are trying to answer questions to officers that are coming to them, and also for those that are being stretched to other funerals and all these other things to support other departments right now.
All right. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.